friends, hope you are well. Welcome to a new edition of the Jacqueline Hayes Show. I am here with my amazing friend Jay Warren. Jay Warren is actually doing his social media right now. He is that guy, the social media marketing guy. So we will get started with our episode in just a few minutes here. Hope you're well. Feel free to chime in on the conversation, join the fun. Jay and I are going to have a very interesting and exciting conversation about who he is, his journey, and things like that. So I hope you enjoy today's show.
Yes. Hey, thanks for having me on, Jackie. We're good to go. I'm off now. I'm off.
When he's ready to go to get started.
We're good to go.
Jay, are we good?
We're good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So hi, friends. Again, welcome to another episode of the Jacqueline Hayes Show. I'm super excited about today's guest. My guest today is Jay Warren. Jay is totally amazing. He's a former international basketball player, business owner, entrepreneur, mentor, and just an all-around great guy. And so I invited Jay to be on the show today to kind of share with you his journey as an international basketball player, what he does as a business owner. He has some really creative tools around marketing and social media marketing, and also along with that, he's a mentor in the community. So I wanted to have him on the show to share with you his journey in hopes that his information will encourage you, inspire you, motivate you to do your thing at whatever level that works for you. So everyone, please help me welcome my friend Jay Warren.
I'd like to have everybody on the audience. Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It's definitely a privilege to be on. We made a connection, I guess about over a year now.
Has it?
It's been over a year.
Wow.
It's been almost 2 years, I think. We met obviously through a mutual friend. And then been just keeping in contact, and I've been watching what you've been doing, all your conferences, all your speaking engagements, stuff like that. So you're killing it out there. And for you to have me on here, it's definitely a privilege.
Thank you for being here, my friend. And we connected about a year and a half, 2 years ago, like you said. And then last year we did the marketing moves workshops. We did, remember?
So we worked together too.
And Jay had the opportunity to host a couple workshops to share his marketing tips and resources with the audience that attended. We had a great time there, and we may talk about doing that again because
you need to.
You've got some skills with you. So So Jay, again, thank you for being here. Tell my guests, hi Tanya, hi Patrick, hi Christy. Christy just got it from Hawaii. Welcome back.
Aloha.
I
don't know if you're from Hawaii. I'm a Hawaii or not, but aloha.
Right. So, Jay, let's kind of talk about who you are as a person, as a man, your journey. Let's start with the fact that you're like an international basketball player, like you played in that arena. Tell us how you got started as a basketball player, your journey there, and we'll kind of just step through different things about who you are in your career. So
that journey it's not like most.
Okay.
And what I mean is, like what's promoted through media, not really social media, because social media has changed the way it's promoted now.
Okay.
But the way it was promoted through me is, hey, to become a professional, it's kind of the same thing that to get a job.
Okay.
The same blueprint. You go to school, go to college, go to 4 years, and then you have the opportunity to play in the NBA.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically the same blueprint to get a job in corporate America. Is kind of the same similar blueprint to play overseas, but that's not how it really works.
Oh, really?
No, it's not how it works. So you're learning something right now too. So how it happened for me is that after I went to school, I was fortunate enough, and we'll talk about this more.
Okay.
We talk about business owners and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I was fortunate enough to have a few players on my team who were international, so they were from Puerto Rico, and when I got finished, they had suggested to me to come down and try out for one of the teams out there.
Okay.
So I went down there, tried out for one of the teams. They liked me, but it was like mid-season, so I wasn't able to get on the team. But then I made a connection while I was down there, and he was like, "Hey, your dad's Panamanian." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I know my dad." I was like, "You know my dad?" He's like, "Yeah, of course. Your dad's a legend in Panama." So he knew my dad, and he basically got me connected to play on the Panama national team. So once I got on the national team, that's kind of how my career took off.
Okay. So tell me about your journey, like high school, junior high, your basketball, your journey of like the love for basketball, how you got into basketball, what you love about basketball, and things like that.
So how I got it, so I think football was my first sport.
Okay.
Which is
football.
Yeah, football was my first sport.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I love to play football. It's because I was a small guy. I'm not that small now, but I was a small guy, but I was really fast. So and my favorite player growing up was Walter Payton. So sweetness, right?
Yeah.
So I'm watching Walter play, and I'm how he's breaking through all these tackles, stuff like that, and he's outrun all these people. I was like, okay, cool. I got into high school. I was playing both all the way up until high school, ninth grade, and I was basically the same size as a fifth grader I was as a ninth grader. The people who know me, they know that they know that because they use like, hey, you may hit this growth spurt after high school. Yeah, that's how it worked.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I was basically the same height from fifth grade all the way to ninth grade. And so
from fifth grade to ninth grade, you were the same height?
I was like 5'3" when I was in ninth grade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was still fast. I wasn't big or strong. And I just seen all these collisions and all that stuff. I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to, last through a season with that. So I basically switched to basketball. But as I love football, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to last through that. I'm 5'3", yeah. And these guys are about as fast as me now. So let me go ahead and just stick to the basketball court.
Okay.
So and then from basketball through my high school journey, I basically was I didn't play. I was on ninth grade B team because of my height.
Okay.
Then my sophomore year, I was on JV, didn't get any playing time. Worked hard. Got in my junior year, worked hard to be on varsity.
Okay.
But didn't get any playing time. It took my senior year, probably, I would say like 3 or 4 games left in the season where I got a fast break and I dunked on somebody. Like this guy was, 6'6", 6'7", or whatever, and I was like 5'11", 6 foot.
She's like, this is my moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just, my the coach that was coaching, that he was really nice guy.
Okay.
The one that recently passed.
Uh-huh.
Really nice guy, but he always would play the tall guys, and so, but he would always tell me like, well, go in summer, work hard. I'm doing what he's saying. I'm still not getting playing time. So yeah, basically it's building up all the way to the last four games left in the season.
Okay.
So I bang on this guy, and when I bang on him, then all of a sudden like his mindset changed, and he started playing me more and more at the the last 4 games.
Okay.
Now I wasn't starting. I didn't go from that to starting.
Okay.
But like if there was 10-point lead or 15-point lead, he would put me in the game. So
okay.
I was still getting garbage minutes, but that's kind of where it flipped for coach. But
okay.
I always knew that I was good enough to play. I
right.
just which is why you always got to work on your crafts, your skills, and stuff like that.
That's a good point. Always work on your craft, right?
Yeah.
Always,
because you just never know. The opportunity. And we'll talk about that, I guess, in the marketing too, because right. I see that in businesses as well. People want the overnight success, and it's just you got to continue to work.
Yeah, it takes time. Yeah. So high school, played football initially, then moved over to basketball. Got your opportunity senior year. Your coach saw you had skills and started playing you more. So to get into the international basketball arena, that space, how was that playing internationally? What did you enjoy about it? What were some of the challenges, and what was it about that segment of your life that moved you into, I guess, becoming a business owner?
I guess the thing that I liked about the international was, just the culture.
Okay.
So you experience other people. You see that basically there's a similar foundation, but there's just different cultures and everywhere you go. So the European culture is different, the South American culture is different than the Asian culture. So you see people have basically the same values, around family and stuff like that.
Interesting. Okay.
But when you go to these different cultures, like my first experience when I went to Europe, I landed in Germany, and this guy, he picked me up. He was speaking English, started speaking German to this person, the German guy or whatever.
Okay.
And then we're driving, and we cross the border, and all of a sudden he's speaking Polish. So I'm just like my mind blown, like this dude, and it's fluent too.
Wow. Okay.
Like a conversation like we're having.
Correct.
So it's fluent. So I'm like, that's like my first culture shock. Like, whoa, those 3 languages, just like boom, boom, boom within an hour.
Within an hour.
Yeah. And that was just like, that kind of just started to, that opened my mind. It's like, hold on, wait. there's a lot, you think you know something, but there's just so much more you can learn.
So much more you can learn,
You know what I
right?
mean?
And being
So-
in a different environment, different culture, I'm sure it heightened your awareness in so many ways,
Oh,
right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So how did that translate on a basketball court in terms of being in different countries? I guess the game is the game no matter where you play it. Is that true? Or
Well, basketball is definitely taught differently over there than it is here.
okay,
Over there, it's there's a lot of skill that's involved. So they teach you fundamental skills. Where here, it's a lot about talent and athleticism.
okay,
So but once you get to the certain NBA level, obviously everybody's talented. But if you have good coaches in place that can actually, and you have players that are actually willing to learn, then you can combine the two.
Okay.
But over there, what I've learned is like they're really really smart and direct with teaching fundamentals.
okay.
So they teach you all the way from footwork to shooting to balance. So it's really it's just like the way they teach basketball is a lot different than they teach it here.
So the fundamentals of the game, not just teach you how to play to win.
Yes.
Just the fundamentals of
Well,
athleticism.
that's another skill.
That's another skill. Yeah.
That's definitely another skill.
So we've got your international basketball playing experience. And so tell us how you transitioned into becoming a business owner. What was your first business? What did you do? How did you make that transition?
So my first, so I transitioned because probably like 5 years, 5 or 6 years into my career, I was starting to look back and I was like, I'm not trying to go back. I mean, this is I've experienced all this culture, different countries. I've had this experience. I'm like, man, there's, if I go back to the corporate world, corporate America, I'm gonna be miserable.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, and I know there's people, nothing against people who are in corporate America or
Nothing
anything
at
like
all.
that.
Nothing at
Yeah,
all.
it wasn't for me.
And that's respectful.
But after just waking up, I would wake up, I would just see, beaches and sunsets and, eating dinner on the beach, I mean, it was great. And I was like, there's no way, to go back home into a cubicle. I'm gonna be miserable. So I started exploring options. So
Okay.
I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and we had started my first network marketing business.
Okay.
And we had some success with that too. So we hit some levels early in that network marketing business.
Okay.
But we just didn't have the same vision of how to build it. And then basically when we split the business, she basically had that one. And the skills that I actually learned that I'm teaching now with marketing is how, I basically started, I went into another network marketing business, but I used as a side business as the skills that I learned in marketing to teach other people the same thing.
So initially your first business venture was network marketing, right?
Yes.
Hey Nina, hi Alvin. Thank you guys for listening. Alvin, thank you for sharing the video. You're amazing. So network marketing. So the initial business, you had that with your girlfriend, your significant other at the time. That didn't work out. So you still had you had the skills. So you just transitioned those skills into another network marketing opportunity.
Yes, yes, and no. And what I mean by that is that I didn't have the skills. Like we got success by just by, I would say, more her influence, because we started it over in Europe.
Okay.
So she had a lot of influence over there, and I was helping her. But we were in the trend. I wasn't, me personally, I don't want to speak for her, but I was in learning the skills while she was building.
Gotcha. Okay.
So so basically, she had got me on. I was learning skills. She had influence, so we had success. So basically, our us working together got us to success. And then the way that when I start getting better and better at my skills, then that's when the vision split.
That's when things change.
That's when things change. When two people have vision. I guess you're only allowed to have one vision. I guess I don't know.
When the visions are aligned, there's an opportunity to decide who's going to go in which direction, who's committed to their vision, right?
Yeah.
It's a part of life and the journey.
It's
right?
definitely part of life and the
Yeah,
journey.
you have to keep walking, keep moving forward, right?
Keep moving forward.
Yeah. So let's kind of move around and talk more about your experience as a marketing professional. Like I said, last year we had the opportunity to host a couple marketing workshops, and I thought you shared some really good information with the audience in terms of your perspective about social media marketing, what marketing is not. One thing I remember you saying, which I think people get confused, is marketing isn't sales, right? Marketing is marketing.
Yes.
It's the opportunity to get your product or service in front of your audience to invite them to make a buying decision.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about your thoughts about marketing, what you do, what makes you different, and if someone's listening and they need marketing services, tell us why they should consider partnering with you, things like that.
Okay, so you should just partner with me because I'm me.
Well,
no, I'm just joking.
But
Yeah, in my website, just send me your Apple Pay and your credit card right now.
He's that guy.
I'm that guy. So, but that's where people get confused. Honestly, you know, I'm joking around, but people do get confused like that because people think that people should give you money because you are in business, and that is
not true.
That's not true at all. You know, because you have a business, people think like, hey, you know, I'm in business, give me money. That's not how it works. Mm-hmm. And at the event that we were hosted together, I talked a lot about attraction marketing.
Yeah.
Attraction marketing is basically you put in value into the marketplace, and with that value, you attract your niche customer, your ideal client to you, because they're raising their hand and they're ready to buy.
Yeah.
Sales is very simple. Sales is like, hey, if I'm selling this phone, I'm like, hey, do you want to buy this phone? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And then you just give me a buying decision. You know, people think sales. You know, there's different sales tactics. You know, there's the famous one on Wolf of Wall Street, where everybody's, hey, you know, sell me this pen. And have you heard that one yet?
I like the movie actually.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Super intense.
Yeah, Jordan Belfort. He's actually, you know, he does sales training around the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's a great sales trainer.
Yeah.
Now, what, you know, all the stuff that he did, you know, to create his business, you know, that's something else.
Something
but
separate.
as far as the sales training,
yeah.
it's you know, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
But sales is it's simple. You know, you basically ask somebody for a sale. Hey, would you like to buy this? But I think what people are doing, you know, whether it's online and even networking, is like they're pushing their product or they're pushing their service on to their client, a client or a customer.
Okay.
I don't even say a client or customer. Let's just say prospect.
A prospect.
Because they're pushing on a prospect because they think that, hey, I need to make money, so I want to sell this. Mm-hmm. Instead of you know, networking, having a conversation, and just seeing if this person is even a fit to work with, or if there's a fit to buy my product. Mm-hmm. So because everybody wants to go out there and make some money. Hey, I know I just want to make money. I want to make money, but whose problems are you solving? Which is marketing.
Right.
So if you're not solving people's problem, then why should somebody give you money?
And not only that, Jan, tell me if you agree, is that networking is also about building a relationship, understanding what your product or service is, how it adds value to the end user, the customer, right?
Absolutely.
And it's not just about how to secure a sale or how to get a customer. It's how can I understand what the customer need is and what the customer needs are, and to determine if my product or service can meet that person's needs. I mean, that's how.
Absolutely. I mean, it's, you know, because think about it. If I could get a customer and get, and I don't want to go to data and analytic, but if I know I can get a customer into the door and buy, I can upsell them. Mm-hmm. And then how am I going to actually keep that customer as a customer?
Yeah.
So that's different, because that brings you in income as well. Well, when people are forcing the sale, if they buy from them, they may get that sale, but are they going to come back? Right,
and that's one of the things I talk about when I do my talks in terms of understanding your unique value proposition as a company, as an organization. It's not just about customer acquisition, acquiring the customers, about customer retention, creating a unique customer experience where someone wants to come back to do business with you, want to shop with you, want to tell their friends about you, and it's on their own accord that they've had such a great experience with you until they are motivated or inspired to share their experience with their community.
Absolutely, and that's going back to the networking thing, and that's how it all works. It's like it's simple. People like to complicate things. Oh, because of this. Oh, and I'm not this. Oh, I have kids. Oh, I'm working late. Like, I'm not dismissing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, everybody has problems.
Right, and it's like, are you the solution to that person's problem? Right?
Yes.
Are you the answer to the question, the solution to the problem? Because I tell people when they're doing business that people have options.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever you offer, most likely other people have that as well. So you ask yourself, what is it that you can do to differentiate yourself or separate yourself from your competition? Because pretty much whatever you do, there's some level of competition, right?
Oh yeah. There's competition, and there's I guess there's two sides of the competition. Well, competition where you focus on everybody else and see what everybody else is doing, or you don't worry about the competition and you just double down, triple down, 10 times down on your customer that you have, and make sure you provide them so much value that they won't even think about going anywhere else. So it just depends on where your mindset is, as far as and where you're at in your business. Because I know in the beginning, when people start business, they're taking all customers because they need that cash flow.
Correct.
Like, hey, I do this, and that's kind of entrepreneur. That's why they end up fading a little bit, because they spread themselves so thin. It's just like it's hard to keep up with that. Or that person's like, what is it that you do? They have no idea what you're doing. And instead of, they have the person like, hey, if I'm in the health industry and I want to get, I want to lose weight, this is what I want to do. Or I want to be on this keto diet, this is what I'm going to do. Or I'm going to get leaner. This is what, so there's, instead of a trainer, and I know, health and wellness is so big, but there's 3 different markets right there, just in the health and wellness. But there's people in the health and wellness, with the guy with the jacket, like, hey, I got these watches, I got these bracelets, you know what I mean? So, and then people are like, well, what is it that you do? So,
like, I do everything.
Yeah. Lift up that leg. Like, I got this. Yeah, I got it. What you got? Yeah.
Right.
Go to my trunk.
Yeah. And people's attention spans are so short today when you get in front of a customer. Facebook, we apologize. We seem to have some technical challenges here, but we're having a great conversation. It's just, I think it's so important when I talk to entrepreneurs, business owners, to just understand that people have so many options, and just hammering people with information without taking this time to understand, okay, what the needs are, how you can make a difference, and to get out of that mindset of always trying to make a sale. It's like, how can I build a rapport? How can I build a connection? How can I build that relationship with my customer or my potential customers? I think that's important.
Absolutely. There's a book, and maybe, I don't think it was your book. Sorry, I don't think I got this from your book.
Okay.
I didn't get this from your book, but there's a book out there.
I do have 3 books with good information.
Yeah.
They're all on Amazon.com.
I'll go to Amazon.com and the podcast.
And the podcast.
The one of they talk about like caring, like there's 2, like the same thing. There's 2 spectrums, like so the people who are in your community, you care about.
Correct.
You just care. You care. You give your all. Obviously people are gonna fall off. Nobody's customer retention is at 100%.
Right.
But it could be a 90, it could be a 95, which is really good. You still have a good business like that.
Yeah.
And then there's another spot where you just don't care, where you got those social media bullies, or people just gonna hate on you, or people just like, oh yeah, how she can't write. She got 3 books. How she write 3 books when she was in high school? And like, what I mean? Like
that's such a waste of time.
Yeah.
I get that from, and the mindset of this, like Grant Cardone talks about. He was doing one of his workshops, one of his conferences. Like, it was packed out of one of the guys. He was totally drinking Haterade and eating hate cereal, whatever. And he's on this. He's just now Grant Cardone. This is his conference, and the guy is in the audience just giving it. I think he asked some question. The guy's like, well, dude, you have these books and have all these errors. And he's like, dude, they're selling millions of copies. So why are you worried about that? Like, your focus is in the wrong place.
Oh, right? Yeah, absolutely. I got that in a blog post. Like, a blog post where I make money off of.
Yeah.
There was somebody who put in my comment, hey, you spelled this thing wrong. I'm scratching my head. It's like, it's making me money. Like, why do you care if that thing is spelled wrong? But that's the difference, between the mindset of, the person who is an entrepreneur, where, they don't focus on the details, because that's why a lot of people are like, hey, they're, talk about perfect timing. When this gets right, then, or when my kids graduate from high school, or, when I get out of this debt, or, not knowing, like, honestly, the time is now, because, you never know what's promised. We were off air talking about, how my summer started, where I had, passing my family.
Yeah.
No, tomorrow's not promised to you.
Not promised at all.
So,
yeah.
like the time is now. And then you just, you figure it out. You go out there. Yes, there's a lot of information. Mm-hmm. Who do you connect with on social media? What leaders do you connect with?
Yeah.
Who in the community or whatever. Hire them as a coach. Like, hey, how'd you get started?
Yeah.
Or if you don't have the money to hire them as a coach, barter. I mean, there's options out there that people think that's all about money.
It's not.
There's just resource.
And there's tons of content out there. Like even if you're in a situation financially, you can't invest in the coaches. There are tons of podcasts to provide helpful information, good resource. I want to go back to what you said earlier in terms of people who are waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right situation to take the step. What I've learned is like perfection kills progress, meaning if you're trying to get somewhere, you're trying to get all your ducks in a row, the likelihood of you launching is slim to none, right?
Yeah.
And of course, as you're going along, how I remember it from a coach that I like, or he's deceased now, Jim Rohn, is that like you're always like you're like an airplane in the sky. You're going somewhere, and along the way you're course correcting, but at the same time you're clear about where you're going. Like you've launched, right? So you're making your adjustments, you're becoming agile, you're moving along, you're clear about where you're going, but you've taken off. And so I've just gotten to the point where I am comfortable with people's feedback about what I do and how I do it. It's like that's their opinion. I'm clear about the vision I have for my life, my business, who I want to serve. And so when people give feedback, I guess it means they're paying attention. But if it's negative attention, that's more on them than me, because I'm trying to keep it positive and help people become more empowered. So I've become so not concerned with people's negative comments, because I'm so concerned about the value that I want to offer and how I want to use my life as an instrument, a vehicle of service to help people realize their dreams, get more out of life. Because I know for me, I've had the opportunity and the good fortune of seeing so many of my dreams come true, right? Yeah. And I know we all have dreams, goals, and aspirations inside of us. And so my thing is, how can I continue to learn, grow, evolve? And when I get in front of people, how can I help them find the confidence to believe in themselves, right? And just force to have conversations like this, so someone listening at your story, listening at this conversation can maybe become inspired to just take the first step.
Yeah.
Whatever it is they want to do, whatever it is, like whatever they're trying to do, whether it's to become a singer, become an author, become a marketing professional, or whatever, become a basketball player at a high level. It's just like, hopefully by listening to this podcast, they can actually find the inner courage to just take one step in that direction.
Absolutely. And I 100% agree with you. And because I learned this at one of the conferences I went to as well. Because there's usually when you go to a conference, whether it's a Grant Cardone or one that we host, there's always about 3, 4, 5 speakers, and I'm on a mindset of abundance.
Yeah. So
even with those 4 speakers up there, not knowing who's in the audience, you try to engage the audience as much as possible. But I'm at a point where, like, I can speak, I share my story, I share my experience. Mm-hmm. It may not relate to that person in the audience, but it may relate to this person to take action.
Yeah.
And that one person could affect, tens of millions of people that I wasn't able to reach.
Yeah.
So it's, the story, so the people who are inspiring entrepreneurs, people who are trying to, to get their start their own business. I said this a long time ago, is that you're selfish. And the reason why you're selfish is because you have a story. I'm not saying go online and in media, talk about yourself, and but the story that you share and the breakthroughs that you have is going to help somebody that's going through that stuff.
Correct.
Where it's like they're going to help them take action. Oh, because of you, I was able to, start my first business. Or because of you,
Correct.
I was able to get my first speaking engagement. Or my first set, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, I think you have to be clear about your vision, what you're doing, and how you're trying to serve the world, where you're not distracted about all the unnecessary noise or just noise, period. Right? Yeah. Because you realize you don't, and we've had examples just here recently of losing people where tomorrow's not promised. So you ask yourself, how can we show up fully today to learn, serve, and grow? And I think people misunderstand. I'm an ongoing student. Like I'm always learning, figuring out how to level up my game, perform at a high level, serve at a higher level, and so I'm learning all the time, and I'm learning and living and evolving out loud. So people are actually watching me evolve out loud, and I'm okay with that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think, you brought something up about you being an ongoing student. So the starter entrepreneur, or the people who think about being an entrepreneur, it's usually probably like 80-20, 90-10, where they're spending a lot of the 80% learning, 90% learning, and 10% taking action.
Oh, yeah.
But now you're flipped.
Yeah.
So you're still learning 10%, 20%, but 80% of your time is taking action now.
Yes.
And that's basically it moves that way when you take action. But you don't never not stop learning. You're an ongoing student. You're just on the entrepreneur side. You're on this side of the stage now, performing instead in the audience. Taking notes.
Yeah, and I've always been the kind of person to be on the field, like to have a dream, goal, aspiration, and in my mind figure out how to do it, like how to just chunk it down. Sometimes I'll take off like a real big bite at a dream or vision, and it'll kind of like hit me in the gut, like, oh, that was like too big of a bite. I need to kind of.
Yeah, but that's part of the journey, though. That's part of the journey, right?
I'm trying to eat the whole elephant, and I'm like, I am suffocating. It's just too much, and so. Being able to dial back and adjust myself and go at it again, because I do believe if you have the desire or the dream, you also have the capacity within you to fulfill that, because I do believe the source that gives us the dream also equips us with what we need to fulfill the dream, right?
Yep, I totally agree.
And I still think it comes back to having an inner confidence in yourself or belief in yourself and understanding that you as an individual.
But how do you get that inner confidence? Like, how do you build that?
You start taking steps, you start paying attention, you become more curious and less, fear will be there, but you become like a child, almost curious, like, well, let me just see what I can do with this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And how certain things will open up for you. You'll meet certain people, you'll get support in ways that you just can't even begin to understand, and you'll learn things about yourself and start moving in the direction of the thing that you want coming into your life, right? Like, I'm the author of 3 books, and just my first book, I was terrified. That was back in 2003. I was like, what in the world? Like, becoming an author really wasn't on my list. And when the words came to me, I was like, oh, no. I am not going to get out there like that. I remember.
You had been selfish if you didn't write that book.
Yeah, that's true. But I was like, well.
that fear that you were having, or whatever, what was in your mind before you started, like, I'm an author, there's a simple, not only a sense of accomplishment, but like when you write that book, how many people have you helped with just that first book?
Yeah, just so many people, and like, just the ripple effect of those people sharing the book of other people, and how it's just been going on and on. And you're right. But just the people who are listening, who are just trying to find the courage, I was like, God, you're going to have to help me with this, because this is like bigger than me. I can set goals, but this is more like in the vision space, where my life had become not just about me achieving my goals, but how my life can become an instrument of service. And it felt so uncomfortable in terms of feeling vulnerable. Like, now I'm opening myself up in a way where I'm giving people access to my interior. And that just made me feel some type of way. And I was just like, God, if this is you, you're going to have to walk me through it. And it's just amazing how that opened up. I was invited to attend a writer's workshop. The organizer of the guild actually was a small publishing company, and she's like, oh, your content is great, we should turn it into a book, and here's what we should do, 1, 2, 3. And that's how it happened, right? And like,
there
and
you
just
go.
like, oh, now I have a publishing company.
That's what I'm saying. Look, exactly. But it's funny how that works. Yeah.
It's funny how it works, right? So 2003 was the first book, 2019 a publishing company.
But that's 16 years. So, like a person who is getting started, like that's 16 years.
Jake's math is good. He just clapped.
Yeah, well, 2003, yeah.
I'm still counting.
I'm Rain Man, baby. I'm Rain Man.
I was like,
Rain Man.
Impressive.
Yeah. But that's 16 years right there of his journey.
Correct.
Of progress from not being an author to becoming an author to having a publishing company.
Yeah.
That's the
so
journey,
grateful.
and that's the journey of an entrepreneur. That's what a lot of people don't understand.
It is
like,
a
they
journey.
think they think it's an overnight process.
It's
like,
not overnight.
There's the guy that sung Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
The one that sings "This Is America." I watched his video, and when that first video came out, like, and within that weekend, it got like 63 or 70 something million views or something like that. And I was like, man, I never heard of him before that. I said, who's this kid?
He's a genius. The guy is smart.
I went back. I started looking at his career. I used good old Google. And he's
That's
been
my backup
acting.
line.
Yeah, there you go. and he was I mean, he'd been an actor. He had album before this.
Yeah.
He was on, a lot, was it Swiss Beats or Hot 97 in LA or something like that. But he had all these interviews, all this content out there, and then I'm like, man, I'm just learning about this kid right now, and I was like, and I started look, so I got his new album and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's why you put in the work early. You put those seeds in early because I don't know how long he's been an artist now, but it's like 15, 16, 20 years.
Yeah.
A person like me or somebody will buy your album just because they want to know you because of that one song, because of that one breakthrough song.
And then you start looking around and it's like he's been on this hustle for years. For
years.
And he kept planting his seeds because you can't have a harvest time if you don't have seed time, right? If you ever planted his seeds.
Right, yeah.
Bottom line, right?
That's it.
Yeah, so great conversation, Jay. So now let's talk about what you do as a mentor, how you serve the community, because I really admire that about you as well. So tell me about what you do as a mentor, what you enjoy doing.
So as a mentor, I guess it's just, that's very fulfilling. I kind of fell into this, like mentor, because I wanted to give back, and I didn't know, like I thought. Giving money is kind of like the easy way out because everybody's like, hey, GoFundMe, hey, support this. But I'm like, what the hell am I supporting? If I'm just I think your time is always more valuable. A lot of people might not agree with that. I'm one of those.
My time is one of my most valuable assets.
It's the most valuable asset in my opinion.
Mine.
Yeah. So, so I would go into these communities. I got connected with a district in Frisco.
Okay.
And just having a conversation with a woman, she was like, hey, we need a mentor to come in and just speak to these, but it was first to start high school and then they said, do you want to go younger? I was like, yeah, if I can get them younger, and their time in high school, they, talk about seeds again.
Yeah, and these are high school boys who
so the ones I started with were in high school. That were going graduating. So they had, because going back to what we were talking about earlier, the blueprint of, hey, go to school, get a job, or go to school, go to college, get a job.
Okay.
So what I wasn't trying to tell them, hey, go be an entrepreneur. I was just trying to share with them, hey, there's other options out there.
Yeah.
Because, I remember telling my mom, like, college wasn't for everyone. I went to college, like, my first year. I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, and she was heartbroken too. She's like, oh my gosh, no, you got to go to college, and all that stuff. So good thing I played basketball because I probably haven't went to college. If I didn't play basketball, I probably wouldn't went to college. Sorry, Mom.
Okay.
So I help them. I just share with them more options. I'm like, hey, there's a quote, I think it's by Mark Twain. He says, don't let schooling get in the way of your education. So, people are going to school, but there's an education process that's ongoing. You just talked about it before. So there's always education going on.
Correct.
And school is preparing you to be a worker, preparing you to follow the rules, but I'm not, is this? I don't want to cuss. I'm not crapping on schools, but that's their purpose. So how I share with them is like, hey, there's other options out there. Like you can go out and be whatever it is that you want to be. If you want to be an actor or an actress, then go out there and start, networking with, other actors and actresses.
Yeah.
If you want to, be a producer, go out there and network with other producers. If you want to be an accountant, if you want to be an engineer, some of those you probably have to go, like be a lawyer, doctor. You probably have to go to school for some of that stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
But there's other, industries out there. If you want to be a basketball player, you don't have to automatically go to college. I mean, college is a platform for that, but there's options now that you can actually go overseas and go and you get network with the guys overseas and stuff like that, where you can actually become an international player or a professional player. Right. So there's a lot of options out there, and I think, and especially in our community, they always say entertainment, basketball, acting is the only way out. That's not true. I mean, successful speaker, successful author. That's the way out. Yeah. But there's different options out there for you. They're like options. Yeah, they just like, but the thing is, they don't know where to start because they don't teach that. They don't teach financial money management in school. Correct. You know what I mean? They teach history, and it's the history is sometimes skewed, for one side,
Yeah.
I won't get into that,
Yeah.
but people might not like that
Yeah.
conversation.
Well, we appreciate what you do as a mentor,
Yeah.
how you're empowering young people to go for their dreams, look at their options, and figure out how they can get more out of life. So, Jay, this has been an amazing conversation. I've
Thanks for
enjoyed
having
talking
me.
with you. Do you have any upcoming events or anything you would like to share with the audience?
So what month are we in now?
This is mid-July. It's almost August.
Okay, so mid-July, almost August. So the next event I have is September. It's
Okay.
going to be on a Friday, but I don't have that date yet. So
Okay.
I will plug it on
Sure.
the bottom of this video later. But if you do want to learn more about me, you can go to askjwarren.com, or you can follow me on social media. Ask Jay Warren, that's Twitter,
Okay.
Instagram, Snapchat. I'm running out on Snapchat, but
Okay.
it's out there. And then my Facebook page where, I post a lot of content. It's Jay Warren page, facebook.com/Jay Warren page. So, there's, I'm all on social media. Direct message me. I always, I answer all my messages. I connect with everybody because
Great.
I definitely believe in networking, power networking. And if, I'm not able to help you, I'm pretty sure I can connect you with somebody that can help you.
Absolutely. So if anyone's interested, just go check to any of your social media platforms. Go to your website, askjwarren.com as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, my friend, this has been an amazing conversation. Thank you for being
Definitely
you.
privilege. It's honor.
Thank you for everything you're doing to empower the community, and it has been a great conversation.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, guests, thank you for listening. Until next time, be empowered. This has been another episode of the Jacqueline Hayes Show.